So for me, I found that it was really just helpful to A, reinforce and B, feel just more supported, I suppose. It was just like, of course, this is now like a few years into doing this role, and so coming back to this foundational stuff was really helpful, I found. Even though I had like a base knowledge of all the stuff, it was kind of, yeah, those things that you think about, but then you kind of forget the meaning behind it, and it's just something that you end up just getting into a process of just saying. So hearing it again and coming back into and also having this opportunity to be in this with Jake and Chloe to be able to bounce those ideas around and say, okay, actually, this is what did it what will how does this apply to us, sort of thing. And also just in general, the fact that like late last year it was just me sort of doing clubs and societies, and so having Jake and Chloe come onto the team and then now actually have this training to be able to have a base knowledge, yeah, has made an astounding difference for my mental health, if anything. Um, and it's just, yeah, it's meant that I've been able to actually, if I have a problem that I'm sort of dealing with, I don't just have my manager to go to, but I now also have Jake and Chloe to be able to bounce those ideas around. So it's been really good.
Coming into 12 weeks ago, I was only pretty fresh in this role, so my understanding of the clubs and societies side of thing was very surface level. I was kind of just along for the ride. To have this kind of deeper understanding, not only from the 12 weeks that I've spent here, but also from um, everything that we've gone through in this course over the past 12 weeks, I feel like I do have a little bit more insight, and I'm answering clubs questions in emails with a little bit more actual knowledge of what I'm doing and not just a pre prepared response.
Last 12 weeks have been amazing. I have been here, like I started this program in my second week of working in this role. So I feel like everything has changed in the last 12 weeks. A lot of learning. But yeah, every session, because I haven't had any experience in the clubs and society space before, so every single session has just been invaluable. My personal favorite has been the strategic planning session, session 5, because that's just something that like is not only useful in the clubs and sock space, but is something that personally I will be utilizing for our student experience team so that we can kind of like hone in on what it is specifically that we want to do.
I basically want to reiterate what Nick said. It's been great to do these sessions and feel more supported within the role. When I came onto the team, it was I just got given a lot of balls and didn't really know what to do with those. But yeah, feeling more supported and like role reinforcing in what my job actually is and how we can support the teams.
I feel like I would recommend it purely because it's provided me with like a really strong foundational knowledge, I think, to work with, and then also information that I can come back to as the different aspects, like the different sessions become relevant. Because right now, not everything is immediately relevant, but it all will be. So it's really great that we've got access to those recordings and then also the many, many notes that I've taken over the last 12 weeks.
I think probably the main thing I really like is probably similar to what Nick's mentioned earlier about having the soundboard to be able to talk through different ideas and having people from different associations as well. Because obviously I've got Barty, but we operate in the same program. So being able to hear how different associations do that, and you sort of got the foundation that you're going back to almost and going like, how do you do that? But yeah, I think it's just having the soundboard to bounce different ideas off.
I think one of the biggest reasons for me has actually been hearing not only from yourself, Michael, and the actual information that's presented, but hearing from everyone else. Because a big amount of the notes that I've taken have been, are we doing this, or should we be doing this, or could we be doing this differently? Just based on hearing the differences that there are between the way we run our clubs and societies and the way everyone else here runs their own programs. And, sometimes we've had a conversation and said, no, actually, we prefer the way we're doing it. But it kind of just gives us that kind of the perspective of not getting caught in our own "this is how it's done" way of thinking, but seeing how everybody else does things and trying to reframe our thoughts and see how we could be doing better.
My role in the student experience team it's very wide and varied and across a lot of different departments. So if I was gonna encourage anyone to do this, it'd definitely be just the foundation and actually getting to understand what clubs and societies is. Like it's a very complex part of a student organization and a university, and being able to see kind of behind the scenes of how that works has been really informative.
Honestly, it's just a mixture of what everyone else has said, is that I feel like there's a difference between doing the processes that you do with clubs and understanding the processes that you do with clubs. And so I think that having this session and this program really gives that foundation of, oh, like you may be doing risk assessment. Like often with the job, you just kind of jump into those process things and you just do the risk assessments because they need to be done. And so you're hitting those timelines. And so by taking a second to sit back and actually talk about this stuff and actually have a think about it, that's when you get to that point of, oh, wait, that's why I'm doing the risk assessments. That's the kind of the thinking behind it and the planning that I should have in place. Especially if you're pushing to make new programs into the future, because honestly, the world of clubs and societies is constantly changing. So understanding how they're working, not just doing the processes, means that you can better fix those processes into the future.